Spurs 104.3 FM. My name is Godwin, and today let's talk about the Europa League, Manchester United, and the Conference League where Chelsea played and lost. Good morning, also. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. The God of the girls, people that cry. You see that small boy we cry. That small boy was, I think that was where the fan base or the players saw his cry and rallied round to get the equalizer. Beautiful game of football, interestingly, but and again, Tottenham granted the result.
Other games when man they lose, people know they cry.
No, they cry. This is how they captured the guy. They captured the small boy.
Good morning, John.
Good morning to you. Good morning, football maniacs. Manchester United fans, how far? Well, I don't reach.
I think they were lucky in that game because I think in the 90th minute, Tolisso got a second yellow card, and Lyon scored 2 in extra time with 10 men. That's what was surprising for everybody, even though they couldn't keep that lead. But Manchester United are through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Okay, remember guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. You can go there, drop your comments. We will be reading your comments live here in the studio. Okay, results of the Europa League that happened yesterday. Atletico Club 2, Rangers 0. Rangers of Scotland 0. So Atletico Club are in the semi-finals of the Europa League. And the game, as we just talked about, the Manchester United winning Lyon 5 goals for that game, entered extra time, and Lyon was leading 4-2, 10 minutes to go. But somehow, Man U scored 3 to win that game 5 goals to 4. Then the last game, not the last game, Lazio losing. Even though they won that game 3 goals to 1 against Bodo and Glint, we went to penalties, but Bodo and Glint knocked out Lazio in the quarterfinals. So Bodo and Glint are in the semi-finals of the Europa League. Then Tottenham Hotspur, Spurs went to Germany. Also was saying about English team going to Germany, but they went to Germany and
they surprised me.
And they won that game against Frankfurt 1-0. So Tottenham are in the semi-finals of the Europa League. If you know who they are playing, Manchester United will play Atletico Club in the semi-final, where Frankfurt will play Bodo and Glimt in the other semi-final of the Europa League. Okay, if you look at that game, Manchester United played Lyon yesterday. It was an interesting game. Manchester United went 2 goals up, and everything was cool. It was sweet. Everything was going well. Suddenly in the second half, Lyon came back to make it 2-2. I didn't know what. You keep saying it on this show that when you concede first, okay, fine. They didn't concede first. They scored 2 first, but they still led 2, and it was 2-2 on extra in 90th minute. Went to extra, and they conceded another 2. Then Lyon got a red card, I think, in the final minutes of the regular time. They went to the extra time with just 10 men, and they still scored 2 at Old Trafford. But somehow, Manchester United came back to win that game. But good game all around for both teams.
Good game all around for both teams. You cannot, disparage this Lyon side. They put up a very good game. Even with 1 man down, they gave a good account of themselves.
They showed character.
They showed character, they showed fitness, they showed the ability to break Manchester United down, just as you break into a box of cereal or something. You understand me? But the underlying factor in all these 120 minutes of game time is that when Manchester United gets one small lead, they will just relax as if say we have arrived. You understand me? That's how these guys got back into the game. That's how they came into the extra time and got the extra 2 goals. And then they had to now fight their way back. Imagine now, if you go back over a couple of games, you see that Manchester United have fallen short just at the final minute. If that Maguire's chance hadn't gone in, it would have been
penalty.
Yes, it would have been all over again. In penalty now, it would have been another story. Now you trust Onana.
We trust Onana.
Now you trust Onana. You that are calling for buying there. Now you trust Onana.
Bro, I will tell you, I said it before, I'll say it, my statement still stands. During the time of Van der Sar, there were 2 keepers. During the time of Schmeichel, there were 2 goalkeepers. One person plays the Premier League, while the other person plays the other cup games. You get? During the time of David De Gea, there was at least 2 goalkeepers behind him. Now, even under Onana, there should be at least another goalkeeper that, if FA Cup, you see that, okay, so when this guy has issues, you can play him. I'm not saying play him every match, because since Ten Hag come, every match, you get 2 goalkeepers, but every single day, Onana is there. You get? It doesn't stop you from saying, okay, fine, you stay on the bench, just to protect you from causing another blunder, because if you commit another blunder against Newcastle, therefore, roster, it's no good for online, and maybe at that point, you might not survive it. And he had to play the second goalkeeper. I'll always call for the second goalkeeper to start few games, at least the cup running games. You get even make a bust the bubbles. Our trophy winning season. We get Hariola and Fambiaski. You know they play Premier League. Fambia, you know they play Europa. Arola. So if they should say at least you get to go
this particular game, Onana started. Even if you don't talk about this thing, for example, Arsenal playing one keeper in all competitions. They have not even played any. I think one FA Cup.
Baba they receive him pay, they bench, they have
the team structure. How the team, I don't know, but Man United is always been too cold.
This particular game, I think Manchester United did well, especially in the first half.
Yes, no doubt.
In that first half, but in the second half, I don't know what happened to them in the second half.
That's where we are talking about the fall off in performance, whereby you feel that you are too up, you're okay. Everybody start relaxing, and before you know it, you concede just like that.
Bros, nobody relax.
Everybody relax,
nobody
bro.
Relax, bro. Nobody relax.
Nobody relax.
I'll tell you what happened in that scenario.
It's fine. If nobody relax, where the goals come from?
Nobody relax.
It fell from the sky.
What I'll tell you about it is, Fosenka did some subs, had added new energies into the side. And you look at my United bench, which person you want to put? At least the people you want wait now. The people you want put, now them you still put. The Ericsson, the window for on tackle ball. The Mount, at least you did the Mount sub after what's it called? You've considered fine. You should have done that Mount sub earlier, but I still say it. When you have Ericsson and Casemiro, you have two old legs in midfield. Who is going to recover the ball back? Now, Cassie was top notch in the first half. It was top notch in the beginning of the second half.
Top notch all through, man.
But
don't give me that.
Through. But at least you get what to say. When energy don't increase, you go find players if you increase them. And you look at the Man United bench, bro. Nothing did there.
Whose fault?
At the moment, nothing did there.
No, but whose fault
is injury?
Whose fault? It's not
injury.
Fault is that the team needs to be refreshed and it has not been refreshed. And you're playing with a handicap, which everybody know. And you got 2 goals early in the game, which every wise person knows that you lock up shop. That's why it should be.
How many transfer window has this man gotten through?
But I think
because we are fasting fault now.
Bro, whose fault? You can't blame the manager. You can't blame the manager about that. You can't blame the players on the pitch.
The players that could play in that position are out injured. Ahmad is injured. Kobe just came back from injury. To be Koila is has
energy to only Manchester United that have injuries?
Bro, calm down. When you get injured, we understand.
Is it only Manchester United that have injuries?
It was okay from the run of games last season. Now this season you have key players who could. I'm not saying they are starting 11. I'm not saying they are starting players, but the players who could come in and replace certain players. We've seen other teams go down because of injury crisis.
You came into this season.
We've seen other teams go down.
You came into this season with this blind. Don't come and turn it into an excuse. Other teams Chelsea came into the season with a bloated squad. That was a blind because for the first 20 games, you saw where they didn't have a starting lineup. You were just moving play around till they started having, and they can't go back and change those number of games where they are moving players around. Of course, it will lead to a few losses. Of course, it will lead to poor performances. But that's the blind you came into the season with. Real Madrid came into the season with the blind of having no center halves in that back four, apart from those 2 guys, and having no fullbacks. They knew they didn't have those positions. They didn't fix it, and they came into the season with that blind, and they're out of the Champions League because of that poor defending.
About injuries. Okay, which player at Manchester United that you think that was injured that could have probably did better in this game? Because I can only think about Zeski being out.
Thank you.
Amad Diallo.
And Ahmad, there's 2
injuries. Toby Koila coming in for Casemiro in that game.
Wow. Casemiro didn't need to leave that game at all. He was having a game of his life.
He's a young player coming into that game to replace Casemiro. At least
what I'm saying,
would have given them the cover.
See, what I'm asking about injury is that if all of them when they were still at all of them were fully fit, but wasn't actually playing well. So this game, at least they played well generally in this game. But John, I understand what you are saying too, but injuries can affect the teams too.
I'm not saying injuries can't, right? I'm saying that the club came into this season with a handicap. Everybody knows the handicap, which
when
is
they sacked the halfway through the season.
Everybody knows the handicap. The handicap is that they don't have the right people to play the new system. The new manager came in, and rather than keep this guy till January or wherever, or bring him in the summer and leave Avian in place. They chose to do the change now. So you have to bear that consequence going into the season and not use it as an excuse whenever you throw away a game or throw away a lead.
They didn't throw away a game and they not use it. I'm not using it as an excuse.
It's an excuse, man.
That's
what you were saying. Yeah, that they don't have any. That the opponent brought in faster players, better energies, and man, you couldn't match that. That's what you said.
Even before the transfer window closed, tell me any attacker in the Man side that is better than Lacazette in the side.
Whose fault?
Name me one. We are asking me which fault. Like say I did Man United. At the time you say they get.
I'm asking you whose fault it is that man you don't have a striker in that moment at the time. Whose fault though?
Don't you understand?
Don't you understand the condition the club is?
They sack manager, I think, after 15 games. Yes, after 15 games of the Premier League, they sack manager, bring a new manager.
And then?
And the new manager now don't come in. Come hit injury lists.
And then?
Now, he didn't have a transfer window.
And then?
And we are telling you that this thing is a fault.
And
you're telling me whose fault? You are blaming on the manager. I don't blame on the board.
I'm not blaming on the manager. I'm telling you that this is the situation
when other teams had
and you don't use it as an excuse.
When other teams had injury crisis, it was okay.
You don't use it as an excuse.
Come on now.
You don't use it as an excuse.
We are using double standards here.
What are we saying?
If other team getting you, be like, it's okay to have injuries, except for Real Madrid and Man United.
Manchester United in this game, even though they won this game 4-0, what injuries or no injuries, Man U have not really played well.
Thank you.
Everybody knows that one. So they are trying.
All the names where they call, where they out, when they Bani Zeski never scored up to 3 goals this season.
Bro, I'm not telling you.
All the names where they call Toby Coyla, Bani, if you put them beside this guy, he's not even the best midfielder in that midfield. What are you saying, man?
In a winning position like that, how many times have Man United dropped off?
In 2 goals, I can't remember this.
Thank you.
Dropped off 2 points
from winning position.
But what I'm saying, I'm sorry what you're saying, but it's
how many times have they been in a winning position?
I'm even saying that
in this. No, let's go there. In this season, how many times has Man U scored first before the opponent?
2 times. I scored 2 goals first. I think it probably a few times too.
It's not up to 3 times, man. It's not up to 3 times. So this
which one is not up to 3 times?
Excuse me. This is rarefied air for Manchester United fans because they've never scored first and in an opponent against an opponent and won the game. They scored 2 this time around, and then they conceded just as much as they concede when they don't score first.
What I'm even saying about this game is that no matter how you want to see it, for me, it's still poor that a team came to your house, they are 10, and they are scoring 4 goals when they are still 10 man. No matter the injuries you are talking about, because if you look at this Manchester United, apart from Zeski, that is out from injury, who is the top striker? Mount have not really played throughout this mode.
Nobody's calling Mount.
Zeski where they call against other teams in the Premier League. Where in the
young boy, what's the name of this young boy? He just got Toby Coyla is not a starter at Manchester.
Thank you.
United.
Like I said substitute bench that could come in and affect something in the
yes, I understand, but
I'm not telling you the starting lineup, bro. You look bench yesterday, nobody, and they say more house.
What I'm still saying that nobody you say is still poor for them to concede 4 when you are still opponent is playing with 10 men at home. So, but let's see what happens with this particular game. But if you look at the goals scored in this game, Garnacho scored a very powerful, got an assist in that first goal. Very good run, the way he moved the ball and crossed it for Ugarte to score that.
Very good one. If you go and look at player rating in that encounter, you will come back and assent to the fact that I said that young boy is still one of the hardest workers in that team, and he does not get enough credit for what he does.
Okay, if the second goal came, they scored that second goal. That was scored in the almost end of the first half. But Manchester United started conceding from 70 minutes to this was scored 77 minutes. They considered the game. Then he moved to extra time. Okay, before they moved to extra time, Tolisso got the second yellow card and he was sent off in the final minute of 90 minutes. Extra time entered. Then Leon scored for Czech. He scored first in that game. Then Lacazette, they got a penalty and Lacazette scored in the 110th minute, just 10 minutes to go. Then Manchester United started scoring. Fernandes with the first penalty, 5 minutes to go. Kobe Mino, 120 minutes. Then finally, Maguire scored in the just 10 minutes of that game to make it 5-4. Good game for Manchester United and good game for everybody. I was seeing that game yesterday. I went, that I went to sleep, but it was too good for you to go and sleep in that game. I was thinking that probably it to end with on penalties, but it didn't end on penalties. After that game, yeah, interview was everywhere. Amorim was asked. Amorim said that very clearly that in the Premier League they are going to start play trust young players in the Premier League. All their focus now is going to be Europa League next season. What do you make of that? They have nothing to play in the Premier League again. They have to just focus on this Europa League, because if they win it, bam, they are going to play Champions League.
Yeah, but let's not forget that they have a tough opponent in the semi-finals, talking about Athletic Club. And I was hoping that Manchester United would get Bodo and Glimt, but unfortunately, it's Tottenham getting Bodo and Glimt in this encounter. But it's a good one if they are able to get these players rested, because for all the demerits about Manchester United so far this season, you saw these guys come in, put up a performance. You saw them defend as a unit last night. You saw them fight to the very end. Look at Bruno Fernandes last at one of his attempts that beat the goalkeeper but was saved by the crossbar. You saw them work extra hard to put in the performance. And it's one of those games where you say, okay, you can look back and you can see a glimpse of the never die spirit. Now, Manchester United, never say die spirit that Manchester United used to have in the golden generation. But in this encounter, they are going to need all hands on deck for the semi-finals. And I think it's a wise decision, because if you win your next 8 games, you're not getting into the top 7 or the top 6. So winning this competition is your best bet.
Okay, now if you look at what do you make of Amorim's press conference, we have to trust the kids. We have to risk. That's what they use. We have to take risks with the kids in the Premier League. We have to focus on the Europa League. I think it is the right thing to do.
Hamas played last weekend. Ari Hamas is a young player. And you look at the team I think last night, you saw a Morehouse, you saw, I think, a Fletcher on the bench. We saw many of the reserves in the team list. And you say, fine, it's good. It's what Man United is known for. Since the time of the Bobsy Babes, it's what Man United is known for. So giving the young players the room, the class of 92, I think that was another generation again. And again, the Rashford and Scott McTominay's generation and Pogba's generation, I think 2012 and so. So it's a good move for the manager, giving them time. Like I keep saying, if you want to introduce young players, 30 minutes of football is okay for them. You get? Going into the game, 30 minutes of football. You saw how he introduced Toby Kola in this season. He came in, okay, the guy is good. 30 minutes, play him until he's fit to the stars. Kobe Meno, the same way he came in last season, 30 minutes until he fits the style or the mode of the way they want the team to play. It's just okay with me. 30 minutes of football for every of them. Every last one of them, 30 minutes of football, good for them. But it will shock you, say some of these players say good enough to bench the starting 11 when they marry.
Okay, let's see what happens.
No doubt, but they have to come and prove it.
Because yesterday I saw a Luke Shaw come back. And waiting Luke Shaw do for training himself. My guy, I know if he carry leg up for training. And there's Harry Hamas that could play left back and could play left wing back.
Okay, let's see what he's going to decide. But he said that he's going to trust the young players in the Premier League, because I think there are only 6 games in the Premier League. The Europa League is Manchester United's target this season. They are in the semi-final of this competition, this Europa League competition. Good game all round, good win for them. Scoring 2 goals in the final minutes of the 120 minutes is good for the fans. Everybody was shouting. Everybody was like, it was a crazy atmosphere. Scoring 9 minutes goal is always good for fans. You always remember that particular goal whenever it happens. But it happens for Manchester United, and they won Lyon. Heartbreak for Lyon. They tried in that game, but they could not go through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Okay, before we move on to the next game in the Europa League, let's go to our YouTube, because everybody's talking about that Manchester United game on our YouTube channel. And Ecletus Obi is saying Man U is good at playing with emotions of the fans. I'm pretty sure Man U is coming home at the semi-finals. Okay, and Ecletus thinks that they are going to be knocked out at the semi-final of that competition.
And Ecletus, why you like that?
Man U was excellent at the first half. At the second half, all Man U players was looking as if they don't have legs. Can you see the beauty of Garnacho pairing with Dogo at the left?
Thank you.
Let Amorim stop tinkering with the left side. Okay, Chukwu Ebuka, welcome to the show. Say this Manchester United has been the enemy of themselves, because if they mean to play, they can actually play. Instead, they crown themselves with nonchalant attitude. Really a pity. Okay, let's see what happens with Manchester United, because they are in the semi-final and they're going to play Atletico Club. Talking about Atletico Club, they are in their own semi-finals. They won Rangers 2-0. You know, in that first leg, it ended 0-0, even though Rangers got a red card in maybe 10 minutes of the game, but they couldn't score.
13th minute.
Yeah, they didn't score. But this time, they made it count, and the star boy, Nico Williams, scored the second goal. If you look at the statistics of that game, they actually deserve to win this game. And our own brother in Rangers couldn't do much in that game, but I think Atletico Club deserve to be in this semi-final of this competition.
Of course, no doubt. You have to give it to them. You just have to give it to them. If you talk about games that you didn't expect them to come back from, if you talk about opponents that you didn't expect them to win, you have to give it to them. It's now going to be a very enticing tie against Manchester United to see who goes through at this time around. Will they put up the same performance we saw last night? If so, then you have to give them a shout.
Okay, now, so this game, Atletico Club, Rangers, everybody knew they gave maybe small chance to Rangers to qualify because of their striker have been scoring goal, Dresser and the Nigerian striker have been scoring goal, but Atletico are a big club in Spain, even though they have not really played well in the past couple of seasons. But when I was growing up, Atletico Bilbao, that's what it was called then. Atletico Bilbao was actually a big club in Spain. But being in semi-final, I think it's good for them.
Well, make out my bread. I said here on the show, I talked from here yesterday. Say, you get as the match go take go, I go 1 million Rangers win because of Leon Balogun and Cyril Dresser. But as it is, you have a team like that and you went onto this game to sit deep. You get and expect to play on the break. You're playing on the break with players who are not fast enough to run. I can't trust a Hagi or it's not Yagi, I've been a UMass. Any of those two persons. Me and them on the run, 1v1, I run past them. Me and those two players, one as 1-on-1.
You'll be shocked, man.
The blow is to say, we on your man, they said, me, I fast past the two of them. And I know fast reach. You get me? And that is the play, and those are the players you expect to hit on the break. Come on, it's not good enough. You expect them to just, I was expecting them that, okay, fine, you went in the first leg, you played a 0-0 draw at home, go away, fight for a result. Imagine, for the whole game, for the whole 90 minutes, 2 shots on target.
Yeah.
It was boring, it was one-sided. I don't know how to say it, but I was disappointed with the performance they went in there with. They expected the performance is, let's just play a draw and go into penalties. It's not that doesn't count for me. It no count.
Okay, they are out. Rangers are out. Atletico will play Manchester United in the semi-final of the Europa League. Talking about the other game that happened yesterday, Tottenham Hotspur went to Germany to win Frankfurt 1-0. It was an interesting game because England going to Germany is always a tough game. When they go to Germany to play, it's always tough for them. But a penalty for Sri Lanka in the 43rd minute settled the whole scores, and they held themselves, defended well in the second half and got the win. You remember Andy said he wins trophy in the second season, and we might even say
this Europa League is for Angie Liver.
And we might even say an all-English final.
All-English final.
It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
All-English final.
But if Man U meet Tottenham, who go win for that final?
Let's leave final first.
Leave final first.
So we'll continue with this
quarter final.
Okay.
Okay, but that game, I think it's interesting. But before we talk about that, let's go back to our YouTube channel. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube at Volt FM Sport, and Dixon is saying, Dixon, welcome to the show. You say, I think Amori should give Chidi Obi more playing time because Hoylon is just waste of pipe or waste of space.
How many passes you give the Hoylon? And
okay, Chukwu is also saying Manchester United isn't my club, but I am so much interested in their games. It's a way to support them go through this excruciating period of their journey. Judah Onunko is saying, since their winning team no give them okay, Remontada, miraculously the favorite losing team did. Okay, the favorite losing team did.
Since the winning team don't give us Remontada,
that means
Real Madrid now. So our favorite losing team give us Remontada, Ramoni Totada.
He said God did. Okay, Jaja Sonto, he said, no matter how I look at it, United is the only unbeaten team in the Europa competition.
Thank you. Thank you.
He said European competition, that means everywhere.
Yes.
The only one that nobody has beaten them.
Chelsea lose yesterday.
Yeah, it's true.
Chelsea lose yesterday. So Man United holds the trophy.
You see what they do?
Yes. But it's the
Manchester United fans, your problem is opium and pride.
Nobody's fat. What you
They
say
don't
is
talk
fact.
this thing. They're not
Your
facts now.
problem is
Check stats now.
opium,
John,
and
This
pride.
season they've not lost
John.
an European competition.
We were talking about Juventus being
John,
on.
did they
Excuse
lose?
no,
Wait,
excuse me, excuse me.
wait.
We were talking about Juventus being
Being unbeaten in Serie A.
unbeaten, and you are 14th, I be 10th, I be
Unbeaten
11th.
and 4th. They were not 11th. They were in the top 6.
Excuse me now. Before they started winning games,
When they were unbeaten, they were in the top 6.
when they were 14 games draw,
They were in the top 6.
they were not in the top 6.
They were in the top 6.
They were not in the
Okay,
top
let's
6.
say
They were 10th.
let's leave where they are first.
So after that unbeaten, you know they pursued Premier, you know they pursued Serie A, you know they ginger unbeaten, they captain and do down that X. Manchester United now, let's see how it's going to be in the semi-final.
But they are still on. You see, for till the semi-finals. For now,
They are still unbeaten.
this quarter-final stage, in all of European competition, Champions League, Conference League, Europa League, Man U is unbeaten.
I remember because of all those wins, that's why they gave England one more spot. Because of all those competition put together, they gave them one more.
They no count Man you put for that team.
They can't Man you
Even
put.
Chelsea. All of them have
Chelsea
All
0.0 points.
It's
Man
Arsenal
United-
you have to thank for that because
How?
Arsenal qualifying
How?
into the final stages
all of them,
is
all of
what
them,
gave that point.
all of
John,
them gave
Go
the point.
back and look at
John,
the records.
See,
John.
the point is that
Arsenal had a point.
Arsenal, I think Arsenal have 1.5.
1.5.
Europa League have 1, and Conference have 0.5.
0.5.
So all of them combined together.
Now
give-
put 3 points and put Man U put extra slot for England. So it's not Arsenal. Don't take any Arsenal.
It's Arsenal.
If Arsenal has won their game and Man United and Tottenham has lost,
the point might drop.
he
That's
go
the
come
point.
out. He go come out. He go Italy.
Even Chelsea, that 0.5 points is still very.
He go Italy. He go Spain. So don't come here and tell us Arsenal. Arsenal don't do anything for us. Arsenal just help us.
Okay, and finally, I like to say, not to stop defending Højlund. If they know pass them, if they don't give them pass, make him go hustle.
Thank
Don't
you.
They hustle now.
Don't you see Alvarez always hustling for the ball and
Did you see how many runs he was charging for the goalkeeper to make mistake?
Okay, finally,
He's the king of high press in Man United side. Currently, check the stats.
Chigozie Alexander is saying Garnacho is no workaholic, John. Don't worry. Amorim will surely get his competitor in that wing. We will know if he will be starting games from next season.
Bro, just look at the numbers.
My own is that I did Remontada. Anybody's giving
If
their
you
own
like
name.
do Ramon Papa, it concern you.
Okay, let's see what Manchester United will do. They are in the semi-final of. Talking about the other games, Spurs are in the semi-final of this competition too. Even though they had just less shot on target than their opponent, they had everything, even less position. But at the end of the day, 3 points. A win is a win, and they won this game, and they are in semi-final.
At the end of the day, some you win, some you don't. Tottenham has won this one.
Simple.
And they've represented London very well. This is Gemina. I am proud of you guys. Frankfurt they beat me, come me for Europa League, Europa Conference League. I am proud of Tottenham Hotspur, even though I don't want them to, touch that trophy because of the other side of England. Because if they touch trophy now, it will be like say they don't win, they don't conquer Europe. They get, and once they conquer Europe, they become one of the biggest teams in London as well, like me, and Chelsea. But for now, I just feel like it was a good performance yesterday, good showing, good there with the energy of getting the early goal. That was what Tottenham played with. The intensity was, let's get the early goal and lock up shot. I never see Tottenham defend like this before. You get, and the way they defended is like, we defend, we will still get opportunity to come attack. And when we come attack,
They no come attack.
they come together.
They no come attack.
The attack no dey as it be for Premier League. You go see or Son they run. The Son, you go see Son they try create 1 or 2 chances. It not be like that. If they come attack now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 passes. They just whether they play the shot or they play, they don't play them anyhow. Make it go back. Make just they go off target and on target. Then everybody run back go defend. That was how they played yesterday, and it was interesting to see that the Tottenham Hotspur could defend.
Okay, Spurs are in the semi-final. Angie says that normally he wins trophies in his second season. Now they are in the semi-final. Let's see if it's going to work out for them. Okay, the final game in that quarter-final in the Europa League. Even though that Lazio won that game 3-1, it was 2-0 in the full time, 90 minutes. It was 2-2 on aggregate extra time. They scored again to make it 3-0, but Bodo and Glaze scored to make it 3-1. It went on penalties, and Lazio is out of the Europa League. If you look at the statistics in this game, they had 33 shots in total, 11 on target, more position, more passes, but they could not break down.
Leave the more. When they attack a team, the team they attack you back.
Oh well, but having 33 shots,
but don't even fear them at all. They're not showing any sign of fear.
They were just shooting anyhow, but at the end of the day, Lazio and Bodo and Glimt deserve to be in the semi-finals.
No doubt, you have to give it to Bodo and Glimt, although begrudgingly, but then it is what it is. Lazio may have underestimated their opponent from the very first leg.
Yes, right for the first leg.
Yes, they did, and they paid very dearly for it. I'm sure they are going to learn their lesson going forward. But then it's also a demerit to the midfield, because if you look at the midfield Lazio has, they should have had the ability to turn this leg around in this second leg.
They turn them around and they score 2-0. They try.
How far?
2-0 no just enough. You get, because me, as they ask, somebody will tell me, say, no, so you said Pedro good, but Pedro to play 10 for you. Pedro was played behind the striker. There are players, I know I said the same thing, age is just a number for Muller, and I'm supporting Muller to start from there. But if you're starting a player, start him in the position you know he can kill for. Pedro, I don't know about other people, but me, I believe Pedro is someone that plays well from the flanks and not from behind the striker. You get me?
He get pace to run.
Currently, now old man, if you get that pace
so he has to play behind the striker. Look at the same thing with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Now, hold up play from the sides can also involve other people getting in the game. You and the striker can be the double 9. You hold up play there. Than you being a 10. You know what 10 be? You go front, run, come back.
Okay,
and he didn't have that energy, and I felt like they lost it in that midfield with just Guendouzi and the other guy. But if you had added a Fisayo, Dele Bashiru, I think it might be different.
Okay, Lazio is out of this competition. The semi-final of the Europa League is set. First, Atletico will play Manchester United. That first leg will happen in Spain before they come back to Old Trafford. But the second leg, that game is happening Thursday, 1st of May. The other semi-final is Spurs will play at home against Bodo and Glimt. I think Spurs has more chance to reach the final of this Europa League. It would have been tough if they played Lazio, but I'm not underestimating Bodo and Glimt, because they are here by merit. If they are here by merit. But Spurs have a much better chance to reach the final of this competition than Manchester United, but anything can happen in football. Let's see who.
And he goes score maybe 1. Now, do the numbers. So you give him 15 chances, he score 1 in 3 games. You can't get Jackson, they get like every day, they get passes from Palmer. Every day. Per match, they get like 30 passes from Palmer. You get me? And out of that 30, he will come and they score 1 in 4 games. And all the way they give only 3 per game, and then they miss the 3. I beg no verse, who gets the better work rates?
Well, it's not about work rate.
Now, who you go blame saying they do anything for field?
It's not about
because blame. I saw scenarios where he was making clear run at goals.
I remember,
and
yes.
And Garnacho choose to take on.
I remember
rather than pass the ball.
I remember I've told you this thing, that if this guy is in Amorim's plan, he would have had conversation to that midfield.
You see, bro.
That they should give him service.
Coach go
talk. Bro, no be say coach go talk. Go and look at Arsenal. You can't do that. You can't receive an instruction from Arteta, not obey it and play the next match. It can never happen.
There was an incident from, I think, Dogu. In this particular scenario, there was an incident from Dogu. Baba don't make run. Bruno make run for behind him. Now he's run. If he had crossed the ball early, he might have gotten to Højlund. He might not have gotten to Højlund. I don't know. But Bruno was making a run behind. And Dogu chose to take on and play a shot. And he played off target. Now, for all of now, we play off target. Now, just one proof say we're good. Understand individual, one proof na individual brilliance. But when you don't play as a unit and one person is lacking, if you look at the Dalot's goal, you see the way he was like, he was actually celebrating for Dalot. But you could see that there was no joy in his face because he needed service in this game.
Whose fault though? Manchester United have not played as a unit in a very long time.
My own is that.
I mean, you see the guy, whenever the opposition team wants to build from the back, you can say they pursue keeper, they pursue defender, they pursue, and that press involves other people joining in that press, and it causes the defenders to cause problem.
Well, Amor had to decide at the end of the season.
Person go still compare me say the guy no good reach. How?
But you see, at the end of the day, so it's still numbers. If you are not scoring goals, you are not scoring goals.
I'm not debating with you about the numbers.
So you have to find somebody like probably if the say is not working with him, That's find probably somebody that can go and hustle for himself. That's how he works.
The guy they hustle for himself, say that be the worst part. And he go press high.
See,
the guy will press high.
Let me tell you what the
press
biggest.
high.
Let
Still
me tell
get
you what the
the ball and
biggest
still
problem.
pass.
No, the biggest problem with Højlund is that he wants to help other people first before he helps himself.
Apart from that,
look at it. You see the person give Garnacho.
Because if you never meet your if you never meet your KPI for work and you want to go and do another person's job, when the matter reach table on who is underperforming, now you go there front. They're not going to say they help the team play better. They're going to say numbers.
Wait, I don't give a scenario of two different strikers where people they rate ahead of Højlund. Even the likes of Timo Werner.
At the end of
at
the
Chelsea.
And secondly,
how many goals Timo can score?
Secondly, let's not forget that as we're having this conversation, his representatives are talking to clubs in Italy. So, no Bani, anyhow way you
no
be.
matter what.
You understand. I'm not talking about if he can leave Man United and go and play well elsewhere. I understand that. And you know, I talk and before say strikers from Syria, I know they do well for Premier League. I don't talk and before.
Even when he was at Atlanta,
but I know they like. It was not a 20 goal scorer.
So
even the likes of Zesky. I checked this.
But look at the problem.
In Zeski's best
season. The problem is
he's
not getting service, and the manager who should have the mentality to see the errors in the game.
He's not getting service.
And
we come back on the streets and we come back and talk about the guy as a flop. Bro is not a flop.
Bro is a flop.
He's still a flop.
He's still a flop.
At the end of the day, if the system is like that, then they need a striker that can convert 1 in 3 chances.
Thank you.
If you cannot do 1 in 3 chances, then you can. For example, I think when he was at what is that striker at Sporting Lisbon?
You're correct.
If he converts this, because he was converting the chances he was giving, he was scoring many goals. So that I think what Manchester needs actually striker that can convert 1 in 3. Then
that's the thing.
That means he's failing in this system. Probably need to change him.
Now, you know, let's go back because now I like things differently. Let's go back to the Real Madrid game. How many passes was given to a player of Real Madrid in the box 18? Because
Arsenal was good. That one is different.
It's a different thing.
Wait, now calm down. Leave that good on the night. But when Hendrick enter, he touched ball for inside Arsenal, but inside that box 18 that was good. He touched ball.
Because
he dribble Kiwo. He play shots, 2 off target. He not ball.
The 2 different strikers.
And a smaller person.
I'm saying that Mbappe is not the player that counts. It's 2 different strikers.
I'm trying to explain something to you. If a player camps or he doesn't camp, if you don't give him service, you will feel like he is useless. Højlund dropped into midfield. He doesn't have footwork. We agree. He knows a bit take on players. He knows a bit dribble. All those things where Zexi they do. Zexi they do them since 15. Nobody today don't start. He they do them since dribble person, nutmeg. He even talk about interview. Say what thing they do now? Nutmeg. That's his game. Nutmeg, take ons and all of those things. Now Zexi game. Højlund in this game last night came into midfield. Made a couple of passes to Garnacho.
Let's look at
Dalot, and other players that went on to become goals.
Let's end the matter with hard numbers, right? Let's end the number of hard numbers. May it not be like say anybody carry anybody for head, right? So far this season, he has 3 goals, 0.1 per match. Okay.
He has 3 goals.
23 shots attempted, 9 on target. Bro, what are we saying now?
Now 23 shots attempted.
9 on target. Accuracy 39%.
You need to be clinical. That's the
what
point.
Are we saying?
You need to
out of all the they get service.
So that
look at the number of games. 27 games.
27 games. Now look at it for a striker. 27 games. I like the number where you carry come aside. 27 games, 23 shots. You give me service, I play 23 shots.
Baba, out of the 23, how markets?
You give me pass.
Out of 23,
you give me
3
pass,
goals.
make I play 23 shots as a striker. The most say they give me that for when I did outside at 18, I did for defense. You give me pass. When they go counter, I go pass the ball back to another person.
See, do you know that if we go by the 9 on target, he has less than 10% accuracy?
Like we said, 9 on
if
target.
If we go by 9 on target
like
for
said,
3.
9 on target, he scored 3.
That's about 15% conversion rate.
I think the end of the day, I think if we want to end this argument,
it's more than that.
It's less than that.
I think probably it means that Højlund doesn't fit into this system. It's as simple as that. Probably they have to let him go in the summer because I think he needs a striker that can hustle well and score your goal. Probably a big striker or so, whatever it is. But for me, I think one of either Zeski or Holland should go in the summer, or both of them should stay. Buy another big striker.
You see, I'm still coming back to you on this issue now. Look at last season. He had 10 goals last season. Goals per match was still 0.3. Now let's come to shots on target and shots. Total 38. This season we're saying total is 27, right? How many shots more than that one? 38.
Which means he has at least 11 shots last season than this season.
More than this season. Out of so that, far. 21 on target. Okay. Out of 21 on target, 10 goals scored.
Okay, let's start
out of 38.
Out of 21 that are on target.
21 that are on target, 10 goals
10 scored.
And that numbers, I said this early in this show, but many people said it sound like broken record. I go leave them. If you get service, even if you know good reach, still they give and pass. Now you're looking at these guys' numbers like this. The same way you want to pull up these guys' numbers, pull up Jackson's number the same way, and do the conversion rate.
Let's look at Jackson's number before he came to Chelsea. Let's look at it.
You want to look at Jackson's number before he came to Chelsea.
How many seasons has he been at Chelsea, man?
He has been at Chelsea more than the Highland. At least I could say that for myself.
Wow. They came the same season. What are you saying?
Just the season, but both of them.
What are you saying?
At the end of the day, Highland, they have to decide if Highland is going to stay or not next season. But I think the problem that they bought him with big money. If he was a young one, maybe 30 million.
It's not his fault they bought him with big money. Man U right now cannot attract any player by name or by standard or by Champions League. You have to pay with money.
I think what they bought with Highland is potential. I think they probably should. I think it should give him more time.
Yes,
they should give him more time. He might. Know some players pick maybe 25. They will start picking from 26. But for now, he's not doing well. At the end of the day, whether you are hustling, you are not hustling, you cannot be a 5-goal striker in a season at Manchester United. They will have to sell you at some point. But I think they are going to give him one more season. But if he does not score maybe 10 goals plus next season, they might let him go. But let's see what happens with Manchester United. For the Conference League, Chelsea are in the semi-final of the Conference League, even though they lost at home to Warsaw. They lost again to Warsaw, and at the end of the day, their captain came to the press conference and was saying they were not good enough and all that. But at the end of the day, they are still in the semi-final of that competition. And the semi-final is set. Real Betis will play Fiorentina in the first semi-final. And these people are from Sweden. In case I murder their name, Jugardins, did I get their name well? It's Chelsea. Did I get their name, John? I don't know. There's like a wifey name.
Jugatson.
Jugatson versus Chelsea will play. They are a club from Sweden, so everybody expects Chelsea. Everybody expects Chelsea to beat them come 1st of May. But let's see what happens. Okay, let's start taking phone calls, and let's give your own contribution about this Man U game. I know everybody has been calling me about this game. The number to call is 0706 048 5853. Call us and tell us what you think about that game that happened yesterday. It was a lovely encounter. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning, everybody in the studio.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, what's the name and location, please?
Alan, brother.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I was surprised for yesterday match of Man U. It's a good performance from them. So, and I think they will not carry the trophy.
Okay.
Tottenham will win that trophy.
Tottenham will win it. Oh, nice prediction. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay, 0706 048 5853. Tell us what you think about yesterday's game. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Okay, it's Manchester United calling from Enugu.
Okay, what is your contribution about yesterday's game?
OG Manchester United.
Oh yeah, now show now.
Thank you.
Come on, please. You cannot take your song. Just give us a contribution.
Now the only thing you want to talk with that.
When the trophy will come,
Very soon.
All right.
Many trophy will come soon.
Okay.
This is your song. This is your song.
All right.
I just want to say one or two things.
No, now one thing you get to say now. You don't use the two things to sing song.
See, for Manchester United, we get a lot of bad better. Everyone wants Manchester United to win the trophy. Somebody, of course, they want Tottenham to win it. No problem. John, Tottenham to win it. No problem. But all I need to tell you guys is that you'll be surprised to see Manchester United winning that trophy.
Okay.
I don't talk too much, but what I always say is the truth. I told you guys that Man City will even tackle this season, and it's going to happen.
Okay.
But they still difficult.
Chelsea will not be in top form, and it's going to happen. But what I want us to do is that you need to understand exactly what Manchester United is going to do.
Okay.
They're going to win this trophy.
All right. Thank you very much.
In terms of the Haaland, the guy don't position himself. He don't position himself where both are supposed to be. That's the problem, that guy.
Holland, yes.
That's the problem of it.
Okay.
Yes. That's
Even when he
Haaland.
position.
He don't position himself. So he always moves and the ball will go another way. So he don't watch himself. That is his problem.
Okay.
But no problem.
Let's see. All right. Thank you very much.
Keep us or sell.
Okay, let's see what happens with Hoyland at the end of this season. Yeah, hello, good morning.
Hello?
Hello, good morning. Name and location, please.
Good morning, John. Good morning, also.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is an additional for transfer code.
Okay, what is the contribution?
My brother, I'm so happy for my yesterday. I'm telling you the truth, I'm so happy. Because by the time I see that equalizer, my head just scattered yesterday. You know, I even take another stand up from the place where I'm watching that ball before Fernando scored that penalty. Before I will reach house, I'm just a shot that the man you are swinging, and that is just give me joy.
Yes.
Because all these bad belly FC, these Chelsea people, let us the way that they take eyes, they see. They can't just wish another person club at. Like that IK, making it a year for any place. Because a really bad belly person be. He don't like Man U, he don't like Man City, he don't like Arsenal.
He don't like anybody except Chelsea.
I'm not sure that guy play ball. That guy play ball. Even if the guy will not look for in front of say, we are doing something with your brother. We not say, boy, anything can happen. In 90 minutes, he will judge you. Are you understand me?
Yeah.
I'm so happy for Man U yesterday. And I'm happy for Tottenham to win. And number two, there has been that England they have progressed on this tournament. I think they must get something.
Yes.
Out of before the ending of the season.
Yes.
England must get something. That's the corners for life.
All right, thank you very much.
It would be nice to see an All England
Super Cup.
Of
no, even All England Super
England
Cup.
Champions League, Europa, and Conference League. That would be nice.
If they want to play, what's it called, Euro 2028, they can come outside together.
Come outside.
Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location.
Good morning, you guys in the studio.
Good morning.
Yeah, you people are wonderful.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Name and location, please.
Pastor Godwin from Benin State.
Okay, what is your contribution?
Well, first of all, I would like to correct your impression that Chelsea fans do not like other teams.
No, it's not Chelsea fans, so it's not all. It's not all.
You should not be welcoming such a statement because even if you you want me another person to pass you.
No
matter how, yes. So let's forget about all those things they are talking about. They don't like Chelsea. Yes.
That's why
they don't like. You don't like me. I don't like it. But I want to say something that Man U actually tried yesterday. The one thing I would like to say concerning the entirety of Man U is that the system they are using now, they don't have the capacity to play that system. I think it was that system Conte came to use for Chelsea when it came.
Yes.
That 3-4-3 system or 3-4-2-1. And that is what Man U is using. Now, at that time, when Chelsea was playing that system, they were using Diego Costa as a lone ranger, then back up by people like it's Nazareth, Fabregas in the middle. And so they had a lot of people. And then they went back. Like Moses said,
Moses.
were able to try, Victor Moses and then Ivanovic at the left, Ivanovic at the right. They need to push forward and attack, but we don't have that kind of players with Man U. So long he continues to use that system, he will not amount. Man U will not amount to anything good.
Okay.
And I want to say that coming against Atletico Bilbao, it will be a very tough game, and I don't see Man U going through. Although I love them if they can go through to the final. But what I am discussing and seeing right now, I don't think they can go through Atletico Bilbao to the final. All the same, if they eventually make it to the final, I think with Tottenham, they won't be able to beat Tottenham.
Okay.
You know that in this season, twice, Tottenham has beaten them, both home and away.
All right.
So I don't think they have that capacity to play that system.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless
Thank
you.
you very much. All right. Okay, this is how we're going to end in today's show. A whole lot of things happen in that game. We cannot discuss all of them. Okay, let's take quick one, just 1 minute before we end the show. Hello, good morning.
Okay. I called in late. Good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Bishop.
Okay, Bishop, 1 minute.
Let me just say one thing. Tomorrow we discuss Maya and the performance.
All right.
One of the problems of Hoyland that you guys were waiting for it was positioning. His positioning is very poor. This is because of his age. I will like, but at what he's doing currently, his positioning is very poor.
Okay.
He always struggles with defenders. Instead of you positioning and the defenders will be coming to you. So you see him every time on your phone are defenders. That's not what is Isaac. Isaac is always on a John, I don't know if you understand.
Yes, I understand.
One is strikers for you. The position then they continue defenders. Hoyland don't have all this. As of now, maybe the future will grow.
Okay.
Then before I drop Casemiro,
Yes.
Credit for last night.
Thank you.
All right.
The great decision of now. I got in my other account like Casemiro surprised me last season.
Okay.
There will have been no comeback without Casemiro.
Thank you.
We discuss it more.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, this is how we're going to end today's show. Finally, on our YouTube channel, Chigozie is saying we will surpass Atletico Bilbao and will be in the finals. Okay, let's see if it's going to happen. Tomorrow we'll come back and talk the Premier League. Is the Premier League weekend. We're going to talk about the Premier League and other games happening everywhere around Europe. You can still call again tomorrow and talk about this particular game. It was an interesting game, 5-4. Tomorrow we'll come back and discuss all that on the show. Remember, it's the Holy Week for Christians and for everybody. Let's be good to our neighbors and be kind to our neighbors. Thank you for being part of today's show. My name is Godwin and I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Hello, Enugu, and welcome to Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.
You of these stats about these stats.
Yes.
14 play. Check how many passes.
You know, if they here, where is the wrong go? They never end this thing. If they here now.